All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of For the Record podcast. I have here a very special guest, Complete the MC. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. So we're just gonna get right into it. First question I want to ask you is because I love asking different, I love getting these different answers. What made you fall in love with music?
Oh man, I for me it was as a kid growing up in the '70s. I think to date myself, I I think that was probably the era that provided us the most incredible artists and music and just in general. From riding in the cars with my parents, with my mom, and back and forth to whether we were going on trips or to the store or whatever the case may be, or at home typically on Saturdays, and when you're just at home a lot, cleaning or whatever the case may be, just hearing the sounds that blared from the stereo. Um, it was just mind blowing, and you felt it. You couldn't help but feel it directly because it was just whether it was the music or the lyrics or just a combination of both. Everything was put together so well. It was truly soulful music, and it pulled me in, and I was hooked ever since.
Yeah, I mean, my parents, like they came up in that era, so like that's
Hmm.
all I
Hmm.
listened to growing up was
Yeah.
music from the 70s. And that
Yeah.
actually ended up becoming my favorite genre, like my favorite
Mm.
time period in music, in modern music. On the track Questions from Your Life album, you quote musical influences of soul, R&B, jazz, and rock. What would hip hop be without the magic of boom bap? Just who are or were your musical influences around this time when you decided to, pursue a career in hip hop?
Oh man, so many, and then the many names may slip my memory at the moment, which I hate because you want to mention those names that were just gems for you, as you the Stevie Wonders, the Al Jarreaus, the George Bensons, just those, and in each of those genres, even though they're different genres, they influence me as an artist because music is music. I mean, in one particular genre, you can hear something different from the next, depending on who it's created by, so to speak. But
Mm.
I was influenced by rock because of what some of it was able to provide. Some I can't. There isn't a genre or any sort of form of music that I can say as a whole that I despise because there may be something from each one of those genres or some artist that may be able to pull me in and captivate me. Like, wait a minute, I thought I didn't like this or that, but um, so I've been touched by jazz. I've been touched by soul, R&B, and Stevie Wonder. It just was huge for me. Just what he does and what he's done, lyrically and musically, it's just unmatched. So music and from different genres again, just in all shapes, forms, and fashions, has just contributed to what I like and what I try to factor into my own art form.
Yeah, your son D Ruff, who's on the track, the album in Fall Far, which is in my opinion, it's a great album opener, and I'm big on great album openers because that sets the
Thank you.
tone for the rest of the album, which it did.
Yeah.
It
Thank you.
did. Yeah, no problem. What advice or tips have you given him that you may not have had when you were growing up his age?
Just to really to be an individual, to be him and to express himself. I mean, that started from sort of subconsciously from when he was born. I wanted him to be. I didn't even want him to be a junior. I didn't want him to be a Cedric Junior. I wanted him to be. His name is Darian, and I just wanted him to have his own identity and be him, not to a fault, but along with that, to always remember and stay grounded and express yourself, but have balance. He's not me. He ventures out and is into some of the sounds and things that I probably wouldn't necessarily be a fan of. I don't know if it's the age gap or what, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he knows and remembers and embraces the. And it wasn't anything I forced on him. It was just him being around me and listening to, and sort of becoming a part of what I lived and what I do and what I express to them. But he, and not only him but my daughters, they've always appreciated just what I exposed and expressed to them when they were coming up. I had my oldest daughter tell me the other day that well, this has been a couple of years ago, actually, not the other day, that she really appreciates and just respects what I exposed them to in hip hop. That side of it, because the commercial side of it will present things and make things look a certain way. But when you're well rounded and get to hear and experience things, as we both know, you kind of get a better appreciation for what's really out there. And that's what he's learned, and what he's been able to implement in himself as an artist is the difference between hip hop and just music.
Right. How does that feel knowing that, he just gravitated towards music naturally, and how does that feel, having, your son, want to follow in your footsteps? Because that's gotta, I don't know, I mean, that's gotta feel
Yeah,
wonderful to
yeah.
have
It's
that.
it's I get chill bumps actually just hearing you ask that question and just think about it, because it's something that it was organic. It wasn't, and you just touched on it. How does it feel to have that naturally happen? I don't know, it's tough because being an artist and a lyricist, I should have words, and I don't even have the words to express
Yeah.
what that means. It's it's um it's soothing. Again, I'm literally over here with chill bumps. It makes me. He's not at a stage or point right now in his life where he's trying to or he is pursuing music the way he wants to. I've heard from him that he does want to pursue it and get into it, but it's all about timing and just trying to find that opportunity to kind of be able to do it for him now. But to have him be able to put together a verse and record with me on the song like he did,
Mhm.
all written by him, all expressed by him, um, and then know that he has the passion and the drive for wanting to do it like he does. Yeah, I can't even express it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the story behind the name Complete the MC?
Oh man, as artists, as MCs especially, and as you may know, we go through these phases where we don't necessarily find that name in the beginning that just sticks with us. It may be okay in the beginning, but you end up making changes and transitions for whatever reasons. But earlier on, my second or third name down the line since the time I first started was an acronym, which is a breakdown of my name. I'm Cedric, so my nickname is Ced. So I thought of the acronym to kind of incorporate with my government name. I thought of Complete Evolutionary Diction, which is CED.
Mhm.
And after a while, I thought, man, that's probably a little bit too long or too involved. It's not going to quite work. So I dropped the evolutionary diction and just went with complete. I felt like that was enough to kind of express me as an artist, because in my mind, I saw myself as an artist that had that the lyrical content that I felt was necessary, and I felt like I had the delivery and then the voice and things that an artist should have. That's just
Yeah.
me thinking. So complete was a fitting name. But after I put out my first solo project, thanks to producer Big Hub, rest in peace to Big Hub,
Mhm.
I had material out there for a while. Whenever I would give people my name, I thought, well, just search complete. And they said I did. And about 20 or 30 other names and artists came up. So I was like, oh, I didn't think that that name was not unique.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me add something to that that would make it unique, so that people, when they did look for me or search for me, and just for my own peace of mind, I had something out there that would stand out as unique and be an easier search for me, as opposed to coming up with, I don't mind sharing, but if you're trying to find me, I don't want you to find 40 other people. I want you.
Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
added VMC to the name to make it to where when you're going to look for me, that's pretty much what you're going to find,
Mhm.
with a unique name. It was all about being unique.
Right. I mean, and that's like the hardest part, because
Yeah.
I know for me, that was like when I was a teenager, I had like different names I wanted to use, and I was like, and then for a while, I didn't know what name to use, where I
Hmm.
should just
Hmm.
use Nicole or
Hmm.
Nicole in my maiden name, but when you finally find that unique name that fits
Yeah.
you, you know,
Yeah.
you got it, because it has to be
Hmm.
something unique to your artistry.
Yeah. Definitely.
It has to go hand in hand,
Definitely.
yeah,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
has to. What helps you stay grounded as an artist?
For me, I think it's just I want to attribute that to my upbringing. I think my mom and my grandfather, I kind of watched them, and they always instilled in me to just stay grounded and realize that it's bigger than you. I was the eldest of my siblings. I was my mom's first child. I
Mm,
was the eldest grandchild. I was the oldest grandchild. I was always that elder. So I subconsciously, I think, tried to find a way to always be that person that people admired, or that was a good example for the family. I was real big on family and trying to lead that right example. I never got into a lot of the things that my peers and other people got into, because I felt like that wasn't something that I knew would make my grandfather proud. I knew my mother would shun, she wouldn't like it. So certain things and decisions I decided not to pursue or make, because I wanted to be a certain person. For myself as well, I just, I think that all of those things kind of kept me at a point where it kept me level headed, and where I needed to be as a person and as an artist.
That's you said something you just touched on where you wanted to, you didn't want to do things or get involved in things that would make your grandfather proud. I think you know that's very important to say, just because you know you want to carry on. I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say is like we're representation, like we're representatives of our family when we go
Yeah, it's
out, when
it's
we
yeah,
go to
it's
school,
deep.
when we go to these stores,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
deep.
yeah, and I
Yeah, it's
noticed how
yeah.
you've carried that. It
Hmm.
seems like you carried that into your personal life
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
also in your music. And so
Hmm.
I get
Hmm.
this. Your music, it has like this. I don't know. It has like when I listen to your music, I think of like ride music. Like put
Hmm.
the music on, put the windows down. It's a
Thank you.
sunny day, like
Thank you.
that. And I
Thank you.
sometimes do that. Like
Yeah.
I was just like the other day. Like I was getting coffee the other day, and I had
Mhm.
your new song playing. Windows was down, sunny day. I mean, that's your music. Just it
Mhm.
has this feel good.
Thank you.
It
Thank
has
you
this feel good
so
vibe to
much.
it. And so
Appreciate it.
I love how you're still, you're still carrying on that legacy,
Mhm.
by making your grandfather proud and your grandparents proud. You
Yeah,
know, I don't know if they're still here with us, but regardless, I mean, that's still important to want to make them proud if they're here on earth or, on the other side of eternity. I think that's a wonderful thing.
definitely, definitely. Thank you so.
You are
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you are welcome. What do you have any creative challenges in the past, and if so, how did you overcome them?
Ooh, I want to answer this correctly, because I don't want to make it seem like I don't run into any sort of roadblocks or don't have any issues, because we all do.
Right.
Um, I think that I really don't, mostly because I typically tend to work with people that either have a really good awareness or knack for me and kind of what I like and how I operate. Um, Big Hub was a person that, again, just speaking from when I started the solo venture in 2017, 2018. He was one that I met and gravitated towards, because he had just this knack for my sound and what I liked. And he had stuff out there that he had a song that he had produced for. He was a coach, a little league football coach, and he had a song that he had produced for a kid of his that ended up passing away at a young age. And he posted a video for it with his music behind it. And when I heard the song, I reached out to him and asked if I could have it, because it was beautiful. And he said, "Yeah, because of who you are and what I know you'll do with it, no problem." So he let me have that. So knowing that was the case, I took it and made it what it was. But I had to give a shout out to the kid, because that was where the song originally came from.
Mhm.
Same thing with another song that I had, my song "Mama" that I did. That was done by Big Hub. He had created that for something else. His a dedication to Michelle Obama. I heard that and asked if I could have it. He said, "You got it. You're you, and I know what you'll do with it." We
Yeah.
took that and ran with it. But my whole point is, it's just all about, what you feel like you can contribute, and what you feel like you can do organically for the world. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, and I think that's really important is who knowing who to work with.
Hmm.
That's key. That can either
Hmm.
make or break an artist, knowing who to work
Yeah.
with and having
Yeah.
that relationship, that chemistry. That's always important. I always like
Yeah, definitely.
that's big for
Definitely.
me. That's big for
Definitely.
me.
Definitely.
Yeah. How do you balance your career with your family life? Because I mean, you have a big family. I think you have three kids and a
Hmm.
grandson. So, and
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
how do you balance all that?
It's tough. It is, and I don't mean to say it as tough as in it being a problem. It's just I guess it's weird. I kind of contradict myself because it ends up, as most things do in life, they end up working out, fortunately. But I work two jobs during the week. I work a part-time job during the day, and then I work my full-time job second shift in the evenings. And
Mm.
fortunately, those are during the week. They're Monday through Friday, so the weekends are open. But of course, with that being the case during the week, the weekends are already spoken for because that's your time for you. So between that and family, having a wife at home, my children are the youngest is about to graduate college, and she's a senior and about to graduate college in May. So the children are grown, but as you mentioned, the grandchild who's with us now, outside of the house, so we can do this.
Yeah.
It's it's um it's a beautiful struggle. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful struggle. It works out, but it can be challenging. But
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints. We work it out somehow.
Yeah, it's a blessing. And I believe your youngest daughter, she goes to UT Austin, right?
Yeah, yes,
I'm from
yeah.
Austin, so when I found out that she went, that she was going to UT Austin, I was like,
Uh-huh.
yes, like that's my home. I was born and raised there.
Nice, beautiful. See the connection? I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah, I love
yeah,
Austin. I love
yeah.
Austin.
And I think my niece I think is the same age as her. She was gonna go to UT Austin. And so at the time I was like, oh, maybe my niece Michaela and his daughter can like be friends or whatever.
Oh, wow, nice.
But
Yeah.
I think she ended up going. I think she ended up not going, or ended up doing something else. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
so I
Okay.
mean, I'm proud of your daughter.
Thank you.
About to graduate and do her thing, and your children are just doing awesome things. So and your wife, I'm sure, is so supportive, and I love that.
She is.
That's
Yeah.
that's really important to have a supportive spouse.
Yeah, it's tough to do it without it. It could be you can do it because as people we're gonna do what we want to do, especially with things that are passions of ours. But
Yeah.
to have that support, that's a real good transition you just made because without that support, as an artist, the first thing we want is that room and that time, so to speak, and that ability to be able to create. And sometimes if there's too many interferences and too many issues with that, specifically coming from your family or a spouse,
Mhm.
that can make that a problem.
Yeah.
So you being newly married, hopefully you're in the same situation.
Oh yeah, of
Congratulations, by the
course.
way.
Thank
Um,
you.
but yeah, it makes it all that much better to have that supportive spouse and someone who knows that this is what they came into.
Yeah,
Not to touch on this, but this was what was here prior to us, and it's just something
yeah,
that I don't want to take away from us, but something that in a weird way hopefully can contribute towards what we have and just
exactly.
let us make it
Yeah.
work. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, like my husband, he's always supportive. He said the other day, like, whenever I'm having technical issues, like with my software, like when I'm recording, he knows that whenever there's an issue, he has an issue because he has to hear about it. So, but he's gonna be at the album release party.
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
yeah,
Looking
so
forward to
it's
meeting
just
them.
yeah,
Nice.
and I mean he's always been supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
Making sure he takes content of me when I'm performing. So I mean, I just yeah. So your wife, I mean, she's a blessing to you. So yeah. What's your creative process like from writing to producing to recording?
Mine is simply I'm not really great at, and I don't think I've ever had a situation where I've created a song or made anything without having the music beforehand. I have to have the music guide me
Mhm.
and send me in a direction as to where I want to go with it. So I have to credit a lot of what I do, however that comes out or whatever it means to the production.
Yeah,
Um, Shout out to Ernie G, a longtime producer friend of mine. I've been knowing since high school.
yeah,
Um, he is brilliant at capturing not only myself but us, my group members. He knows music, and he was that same kid growing up in the '70s that was influenced by that music, and then just took it and just ran with it. But again, my process is to create from the track. I'll get the track, listen to it a few times, and then typically my process is quick. If I'm really into the track and have time, I'll probably write a song in a few hours and have it from whether it's a few verses and a couple of choruses and bridges and whatnot, depending on
mhm.
what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. If I get into it and really lock into it and have that opportunity, it's all about time.
And what is your favorite venue that you performed at and why?
Oh man, it would be tough. Oh wow. Hmm. I'm trying to think if there were. This is something I was supposed to be prepared for, but it's tough for me because I don't know that there is a favorite.
Hmm.
Um, I would probably have to say maybe Three Links in Deep Ellum in Dallas, and
Yeah.
I I wish I could say a Fort Worth venue because I'm I'm such I'm a born and raised Fort Worth fanatic, but you know how we get into the whole Fort Worth and Dallas thing, but I think that's getting
Yeah.
better. So for the sake of that getting better and that being a better situation, me not hearing any issues with that in a while, I would just I will say the Three Links only because of the vibe and the feeling and the I think just the experience that it provided and that it gave, and just what it actually ended up becoming. I loved the experiences several times being able to perform at that venue, mostly courtesy of Final Fridays format with Viz and Fats. Um, long time hip hop historians here in the Metroplex. They put on various shows throughout the course of maybe over the last couple of decades.
Mhm.
Um, that and I really love the venue that was in Fort Worth most recently, the um, Real Club Live,
Oh yeah,
and I'm
that's
not. Yeah, yeah, that was a good venue. I'm not sure. Hopefully, it's on the upcoming returning. I know it had shut down for a minute, but hopefully it'll be back with us. I'm hearing word on the street is that it may be back, so hopefully that will come back. But so I
yeah.
got a couple of answers. Yeah,
Yeah, I hope that venue comes back. The Rail Club.
yeah, yeah,
That was a really fun venue.
yeah,
I performed there in December of 2021, so it was
yeah, yeah.
a fun place.
Hmm.
It is.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want your legacy to be?
Just of someone who decided to avoid basically becoming something that I didn't want to be as an artist just for the sake of success or the
Mhm.
limelight or fame or money. I'd rather be this family man working two jobs, doing what I want to do musically, as opposed to being whatever I could have became with the riches and wealth and all of that. Money doesn't equate to having the freedom to express yourself artistically.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is I feel like there are situations where a lot of what we're experiencing right now today are artists who are capable and probably more willing to do music that is more so what we need to hear.
Yeah.
But the people that are behind them, the powers that be, may not necessarily agree with that. So they're dangling the money sign over them. And I think there's an agenda behind a lot of what we're being exposed to, which I don't appreciate as a man, as a father, as a person. And I want my legacy to be that of a person who tried to give the world more musically, more of not necessarily what I feel like we need, but if people gave it a chance, what I think we could all agree that we all need musically. It's something that can help to it's enjoyable, but at the same time, something that can help you just appreciate
Yeah.
life better.
Yeah. Reminds me, like me and my husband, we talk about this sometimes, and like just the art of selling out. There's been a lot of artists that
Hmm.
sold out, and
Hmm. Hmm.
I never wanted to be that artist. I mean, I was
Hmm.
told even in 2016, would you, not to get on this topic, but I was asked, so you mean the phrasing was, so you mean to tell me you would be an independent artist the rest of your life and not join the Illuminati? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sell myself. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
sell
Yeah.
out to these people. I mean, because we see
Exactly.
a lot of, this is the age of exposure. So we see
Hmm.
a lot of things that was
Hmm.
going on behind the scenes for
Hmm.
20 plus some odd years
Yeah.
that's coming out and being revealed. So it's like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna, you know,
It's not.
yeah, I'm
No.
not, I'm gonna hold up my integrity,
Some of us have integrity. Some of us don't really feel like, I mean, money is great. We all need it. But not
Yeah.
to the point to where I'd rather go out and then work for somebody else than do something that is going to end up affecting me in a negative way. Who knows when? So yeah.
Exactly, exactly. You recently released a new song called Every Time. Great
Mhm.
track. Is there an album on the way?
Hopefully so. I'm gonna hopefully successfully start a GoFundMe so that so I can fund the album. No, but that'll probably be the only way that I'll do another full album project anytime soon. I want to do it because again, I'm in no time soon am I looking at giving up the whole idea of just recording and just being an artist. That's something that I just don't foresee being something that I'm just going to stop doing. But I've been doing these singles here lately because it's easier for me in my situation and just for so many reasons. But they're teasers I'm starting to learn. People are like, yeah, these are cool, but where are the full projects at?
Yeah,
Um, they're just tougher to accomplish. I wish I was more of a brand than of an original soul where I had everything in house. He's that person that can. To go back to one of your questions you asked earlier, what is my recording and production process like? I didn't even fully answer that, and I apologize to you.
oh,
Uh, I'm just strictly an artist as far as a vocalist or an MC. I have none of the engineering and recording skills. The only thing I know how to do is record myself and my vocals and send my dry vocals to my
yeah.
engineer and let them work with it. Um, but I know I'm all over the place with what I'm saying. But to get back to this question, I hope to be able to put out another full project. I also hope, speaking on behalf of my group, Fort Knox, shout out to Fort Knox. Hopefully, we can get together and then maybe do something again in the near future, maybe from the range of a short EP or something or an album. It's just all about being able to, be able to make materialize it, so to speak, make things work. It's life has been lifing
Yeah.
of course the last few years. So hopefully we can make it happen. But I do have another single that I'll be releasing. I'm sorry to say here shortly, within the next maybe month or so. So that'll be something to look out for. Working on it now, so it's coming. But full project, we'll see, we'll see.
Awesome.
Pray
Awesome.
for me.
Whenever, yeah, yeah, of course. Whenever the album, whenever you do the GoFundMe page, I definitely want to support,
Thank
just,
you.
I mean, however way possible, we all can to support, to support your art. I'm here for it from one artist to another. I get it,
Thank you. Thank you.
I get it. So do you have a website? Like, how can people find your music? How can people follow you? I'll put all the links in the description box, but yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
How,
Thank
how
you.
can people
Yeah.
find
Well,
you?
complete the MC. That name is going to get you to me. Well, the MC complete is complete, and then the THE, and then MC is EMCEE. It's not just the letters MC. I spell it that way because of Rakim. Um, so complete the MC EMCEE. Basically, just Google or type that in on your browser or your Google Me, and then you'll pull it up. I'm on Instagram under Complete the MC at Complete the MC. Facebook users, I'm at Complete the MC. The website is for the group. The website is www.fortknox.com.
Got it.
Uh, so fortknox.com. Um, if you want to email me, I'm available at Complete MC complete no the complete MC at gmail.com, and email me so that you can join my fan my fan club list. I sound very elderly. I can't
Yeah,
even think of what it is, but
of
so you can be a
course.
part of my
Yeah.
email, and I can and this is just speaking to whoever's going to see this, which I'm sure is going to be many people. Email me so we can be in contact, and I can keep you in the loop on things that are coming in the near future.
Got it. Okay, cool. And you said there's a music video for the Apple Didn't Fall Far.
Yes, yeah, and
And
I'll
so
send that to you. I'll send that to you
yeah,
so that you'll have it. It's a long video because it starts out not to give it away, but it actually connects to a video that I did. Man, I get kind of emotional thinking about it because this is a video that I did just messing around with my kids when they were young. My daughter that we talked about earlier, she was probably 4 or 5 years old, out
mhm,
in the driveway. She was actually videoing, and I was out in the driveway with my son, and we were just videoing and being silly. And that was a video that I did when I used to put out little videos back in the day, just of my family being silly. But
Yeah.
that part from then was taken and incorporated with this video, and it's at the beginning. So that's what I was saying. It kind of, it's a long video,
Mhm.
but I think it's worth it when you watch it, to kind of watch it all out. You'll kind of see how it came together. But he took that part. My guy from Jockstrip Productions took that and then added that into what they were doing, and then just made it all, one piece. And I think it came together well.
Well, awesome. Well, I'll be looking forward to the video. Everything, everyone, you've heard it from the man himself. I'll be posting all the links in the description box for you to follow. Again, Complete, I just want to appreciate you for coming by. It's a Saturday. I know your grandson is, y'all are going to be watching him, so I know that's going to be fun within and of itself. But thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that, and we'll be on the lookout for the new music.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. Keep doing your thing as well.
Oh, thank you. No problem.